when she brings it over to Earth, most of the Avengers are able to get out in time, but Spider-Man is really kind of like the last man left, offering what little solace he can, offering what little safety he can, while the Avengers rescue those who have been taken by the rest of the Phoenix Four. And so what ends up happening is Spider-Man actually manipulates the two of them. This is one of the coolest things here, because in the Renew Your Vows story from Secret Wars, one of the things that Marvel established is that Spider-Man tells jokes for the purpose of throwing off his enemies, whereas enemies are taking the situation seriously. When it seems like Spider-Man's not taking them seriously, it throws them off. It keeps them off guard, knocks them off balance, because they don't know what to expect. It's like the classic Bruce Lee method of fighting, right? I mean, don't clench your fist until the moment of impact, dance around, always be on the move. Spider-Man is much the same way in terms of how he conducts himself. But the way he does this is he preys on his knowledge of the defeat of Namor the Submariner and begins talking to Illyana Rasputin and Colossus, basically saying, you guys are brother and sister. Do you guys really want to fight each other? I mean, why would you want to fight each other? Because if one of you falls, the other will get, that person's power. And so what he does is he basically plants this little thought in their brains that if Colossus takes out Magic, or if Magic takes out Colossus, they'll gain the other's power. And so at this point, it's really just kind of feeding on their bloodlust, feeding on their corruption, and just kind of going from there, just letting nature take its course. And so things unfold exactly as we would expect it to when Illyana Rasputin and Colossus end up fighting one another, and it ultimately results in both of them being defeated and the remainder of their power spreading to Emma Frost and Cyclops. And so because of this, Cyclops effectively locates Kunlun, breaks into it with the intention of grabbing Hope Summers and bringing her back. And so because of the stance that people like Emma Frost are taking, where she's basically forcing mutants that are in Utopia into subservience, because Cyclops is becoming so extreme and willing to kill anyone who gets in his way, ultimately Magneto begins to see himself in the two of them. And that's what's so ironic here about this. One of the reasons why Magneto's character was so cool during Avengers vs. X-Men is because how we see Cyclops and Emma Frost depicted here, this is 1990s Magneto. Hell, this is 1980s, 1970s Magneto. The guy who will do whatever it takes in order to keep mutants safe, even if it means crushing and conquering the world. And so because of this, Magneto does the only thing he can do. He basically walks out into the open and contacts Charles Xavier and says, we need your help on this. Now, Xavier was well aware of what was going on up to this point, but he had always kind of been hands off. He had always sort of stayed away from everything that was going on, simply because of the fact that in his mind, there had to be a peaceful way to bring Cyclops back. And he was really just kind of biding his time and waiting for that moment to talk Cyclops down and bring him back to his normal self before he was too far corrupted from the Phoenix's power. But at the end of the day, we also get a better understanding of Hope Summers' powers, in the sense that Hope Summers can basically duplicate the powers of others. That whenever she's in a close proximity of a person, she can copy their abilities. Now, the cool thing about this is that she can do it with more than one. So she's like Peter Petrelli from Heroes Season 1 before they nerfed his character and screwed him up. And so because of that, she's basically a character who's just a living copycat of anybody else's powers, which makes her wildly powerful. Because imagine that she was standing in close proximity to Emma Frost and Colossus, Scarlet Witch, or something like that. She'd have all three of their powers. She could use Emma Frost's telepathy, she could use Scarlet Witch's reality warping powers, and she would have the organic metal skin of Colossus. It's kind of crazy what it is that she can do. So what we end up doing is we basically jump back over to Captain America. And this is really the Avengers in their most desperate hour, because what we do is we join Captain America out in the middle of nowhere. And Captain America is just beseeching some unknown person, simply saying, look, we've exhausted every option. We need every ounce of help that we can get. I would not come here unless it was absolutely necessary, but I absolutely need your help. Will you help me? You have to have been seeing what was going on with the Avengers and the X-Men. Will you help me with this conflict? And we ultimately end up finding out the person that Captain America is talking to is the Incredible Hulk. Now, this is so cool, and the reason why is because of the fact that after Greg Pak's run, we ended up getting the Incredible Hulk by Jason Aaron. But basically, he just went into like a period of self-imposed exile. He just disappeared off the face of the planet for however long. He just stayed hidden from everybody. And so with the Incredible Hulk being brought in here, this brings in a massive powerhouse. At the same time, we also end up joining or traveling to Wisconsin and joining Rogue. And Rogue basically joins the Avengers. And what we end up finding out here is that Charles Xavier has effectively been going alongside the Avengers and mustering all these forces that are Avengers and X-Men related. And so what this is designed to do is to show us that people have basically walked away from Cyclops and Emma Frost. They've lost faith in them. They've lost faith in their mission. And that's really where it is that Cyclops and like Magneto began to stray. That's where they really began to kind of part ways is because, historically speaking, Magneto was always mutants first. If there's any group that can count on me to ensure their safety, it will always be mutants. Everybody else is second best. Cyclops initially presented himself this way, and that's why so many mutants rallied to his cause, is because he showed up and said, look, we're going to turn this mutant island of Utopia, we're going to turn it into a refuge for mutants. But then ended up going, from being this enlightened dictatorship to turning into this totalitarian, power-hungry regime. And that's when mutants began to walk away, especially those individuals who were looking at the Avengers and saying, look, we fought as friends once, we'd like to fight as friends again, because Cyclops and Emma Frost are beyond the point of control. And so because of this, we end up joining Xavier, kind of entering into Cyclops' mind. And this is cool because it's a battle being fought on two fronts. On one side, it is Xavier in the mind of Cyclops, more or less kind of talking to him, offering some measure of distraction. On the outside, it is all the Avengers and these X-Men facing off against Cyclops. And so it's really kind of cool because it's just like Cyclops versus everyone. And it's amazing to see, because at the end of the day, Emma Frost and Cyclops are the last two standing. And try as they might, the Avengers just don't have the power to take both these guys out on their own, because they're just so strong. They're just so capable. And so because of this, in this moment of desperation, in this hour of basically realizing he needs more power, Cyclops turns against Emma Frost. And in doing so, basically incapacitates her and steals her portion of the Phoenix Force, which basically transforms him into Dark Phoenix. Now, again, this is the crazy thing here, is because this shows us how far Cyclops has fallen. And this was designed for the purpose of ushering in Cyclops into a new era, of taking Cyclops in a new direction to where he would be more extreme. He would become like the classic Magneto, but in a more extreme capacity. So for those of you guys who are reading the stories or are online reading different articles about how Cyclops has basically quote-unquote gone evil, this is the story that set the stage for that. But the first act he does with the totality of the Phoenix Force's powers is kill Charles Xavier. And this was really like him crossing a line that he can't come back from. Now, the other half of this is that in some ways it is Marvel giving Cyclops an out. It's basically Marvel saying, this is what happens when a person becomes fully imbued with the power of the Phoenix Force. They don't know how to control it. They fall down the path of darkness because it's so much power that they almost go completely insane. And in some cases, when they become the Dark Phoenix, they do lose their minds in their entirety. And so this is really just like a last-ditch effort by everyone to try to stave off and try to end the power of Cyclops once and for all. And so what ends up happening here,
there's a way to cut your dishwashing time by 50%. Try Dawn Power Wash Dish Spray. It removes 99% of grease and grime in half the time. It cleans so well, you can replace multiple cleaning products. Try Dawn Power Wash.
PA Democrats have a plan to raise taxes, jack up the state budget, and increase labor costs. But Frank Bailey and Senate Republican Paul Kent are fighting to stop them because Frank always puts Pennsylvania families first.
Oral BIO keeps your teeth healthy by removing 100% wood plastic, so you can keep up with who matters most.
From I have an idea to I have a plan. Earn an online MBA from the Jack Welch Management Institute at Strayer University to gain skills you can learn today and apply tomorrow to keep striving.
The closest thing to fresh air in this office is when the boss's screensaver. Or what if he just robbed that lake house? Go on, it's easy. Booking.com. The pet dog, yeah.
is Hope Summers and Scarlet Witch effectively team up to bring Cyclops down. Now, the cool thing about this is that it's also this idea that Cyclops recognizes how far it is that he's falling. And it's really him just kind of recollecting on his own memories, going back and looking at the times that he and Wolverine fought together, looking at the times that he was a student of Xavier, the death of Jean Grey. These are moments that he looks back on and he begins to realize that he's effectively losing himself. But the problem is that what's happening to Cyclops now is exactly what happened to Jean Grey. Corrupted by power, not able to control it. The Phoenix Force takes on a life of its own. And so using a moment of distraction, Hope Summers just kind of immerses, through this fire looking like Jean Grey. But in this brief second, she takes the moment alongside Scarlet Witch to basically take out Cyclops, to beat him, and then absorb the entirety of the Phoenix. Now, the implication seems to be here that the Phoenix was always trying to find its way back to Hope Summers, and it was just kind of doing so. And so it seems like there was some measure of personal control by Cyclops over the Phoenix, and he basically wouldn't let the Phoenix leave. That seems to kind of be what's happening here. And the problem is that with this end of the story, it just wraps up just like that. It wraps up so fast, and there's really not much in the way of a great ending here, because it's just really kind of like, well, where do we go from here? And what ends up happening is Hope Summers, having been perfectly in tune with the Phoenix Force, becomes the White Phoenix of the Crown. The problem with this, and the reason why it doesn't make any sense, is because Jean Grey was always billed to be the perfect host for the Phoenix, which is why she became the White Phoenix of the Crown. She and the Phoenix Force were effectively one and the same. She was born to be a host for the Phoenix. When she basically died, quote unquote, and joined the Phoenix Force and became the White Phoenix of the Crown, she was going to be the one singular being that basically fixes what's broken in the universe, whatever that happens to mean, whatever Marvel wants it to mean at any particular point in time. With Hope Summers becoming the White Phoenix of the Crown and Jean Grey nowhere in sight, the question has to be asked, what happened to Jean? But before we even get an answer to that question, before we ever find out what happens, Scarlet Witch more or less just kind of approaches Hope Summers and says, no, you were never really meant to have the Phoenix Force, and she simply says, no more Phoenix, and the Phoenix Force is destroyed, and that's it. And so it's a very anticlimactic and lackluster ending to what was otherwise an insanely great story. But what comes out of the death of the Phoenix Force, more or less, is basically this emergence of mutants all over the world. Mutant powers begin cropping up and popping back up all over again. So once the story really begins to wind down, once it all basically begins to come to a close, Cyclops is effectively taken prisoner by the Avengers because of the fact that he had killed Charles Xavier. You know, he's taken prisoner, he's basically held in stasis, but it sets the stage for him to effectively break out and then eventually go on to, you know, lead his own group of X-Men, or, you know, more of like a rogue group and so on. And then of course Hope Summers just kind of takes off into the sky to find her own place. But again, it's not the best ending. I was really disappointed in the ending to the story because I kind of felt like Marvel wrote themselves into a hole and didn't know how to get out. But in any event, if you guys are new here to Comics Explained, make sure you guys hit the sub button to become part of the Rob Report. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you drop a like, and I will catch you guys later. Peace.
When we knew we were having our son, we were like, what do we use that's going to keep him safe?
I recommend Tide Free and Gentle. It's free of dyes and perfumes.
Those are coming out cleaner than when I used to use competitor brands.
Both gentle and effective.
Tested, trusted, cleaner.
What's going on, guys? This is Rob. If you guys enjoy my content, make sure you hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit that little bell so you never miss out on my sexy voice. Okay, so I want to be dangerous, and for the next week, I want to try an experiment for the next week. I've actually been thinking about doing this for a little while, and I've been trying to find a way to see if we can make it work. So what we're going to do for this whole week is we're going to cover the event of Fear itself. And this is going to be like a background series of videos in addition to the videos we normally do. The exception, of course, is today, because it's Sunday. So normally we would cover X-Men, we should be covering X-Men and Green Lantern, but I've been getting a house remodeled and all kinds of good stuff, and that went on the back burner, and I'm going to do this instead. So I'm kind of curious to see how people respond to this. Now, Fear itself is an interesting story. Here's the funny thing about this. So when Joe Quesada took over Marvel Comics in the early 2000s as editor-in-chief, basically from 2000 going forward, it was designed to like rework everything. Right? And then we went into Siege, and then we had like Dark Reign, Siege, the Heroic Age, and then we go into Fear itself. And the Heroic Age was designed to basically say, here's heroes being heroes. Initially it was like that. Like all these different characters and teams got one-shots, and then you had like the actual Heroic Age miniseries and so on and so forth. But it didn't last all that long, because in reality, people had kind of liked the darker tone of storytelling. Like stories like Civil War, Secret Invasion, things like that. People somewhat enjoyed that. The other half of this was that by the time 2011, 2012 came around, Marvel was planning out Secret Wars. And so the result was that Jonathan Hickman's Avengers, the New Avengers, picked up shortly after this, and then just started going forward with the collapse of the multiverse. So there wasn't really a whole lot of time to sort of restore heroes back to what they're supposed to be. Instead, it was just kind of picking up, seeing what worked, and then eventually going into Secret Wars, which led into all new artists from Marvel. Now, initially what this does is this picks up with the character
so this is the second time that JDM doesn't look great in the fight, but here's your bitch for reacting that way. Listen, anybody who's made it to the UFC, anybody who steps in that cage, they got my utmost respect. I think he's just got a weird face, that's all. But at the end of the day, he's a bad motherfucker.
And so with this in mind, what ends up happening here is that Cynthia Schmidt was basically brainwashed, more or less. Now, the original intention of Red Skull was to kill her because she wasn't a dwarf, but ultimately her life was spared, and he started raising her to become his new protege. Now, this comes
Alright, so this is
after
the second
every Avengers Captain America run. And the reason why I say that, the reason why it matters, is because during that run, that included basically the conclusion of Civil War, the events that went into the death of Captain America, the return of Bucky Barnes, Red Skull having a cosmic cube, different things like that, but ultimately resulting in quote-unquote Red Skull dying. And so Cynthia Schmidt, it was really kind of her chance to shine, and it was a way to bring her in and have her go forward as a potential replacement for the Red Skull, which of course, as we know, didn't work. That's one of the things, you read comics long enough, one of the things you learn is that nothing ever stays changed forever. And so in this instance, what she's done is she's allied herself with Baron Zemo. Now, what they've done is they've discovered the Book of the Skull. And the Book of the Skull basically housed various secrets that Red Skull kept hidden and various sources of power that he was never able to use for one reason or another. Now, this ultimately leads into them basically accessing the bunker of Red Skull. And then once they get in, Cynthia Schmidt begins to basically sort of reveal his tale. And what we end up finding out is that in the 1940s, during World War II, that the Red Skull had essentially traveled to a section of Atlanta, really in Germany, but had brought Atlantean mystics to him, and in turn basically forced them to start using their various forms of magics in order to access a sort of super weapon out there that would serve the purpose of allowing the Germans to basically win World War II. Now, the other half of this is the invaders themselves, because with this going on, essentially the artifact that's been summoned, more or less, by Red Skull has flown across the sky and landed somewhere else, meaning they have to go chase it down. Now, this ultimately leads to them basically accessing where the Red Skull was operating out of, just because of the fact that word had reached their ears that strange things were going on, and the invaders were literally jumping from, basically following the trail of the Germans and liberating all the camps that they could come across. And so when Namor steps in here and ends up finding out that all the members of these various Atlanteans have essentially all been killed, it's a big to-do. Because one of the things to remember is that when it comes to Namor, he is fiercely protective of his people. As Prince, as basically the ruler of Atlantis, he'll go to the ends of the earth. Now, from here, picking up with Red Skull, as well as the rest of these German forces, once they arrive here, you've also got the invaders hot on their trail. Because by this point, the various folks in Germany have basically said, hey, look, here's what was going on with Red Skull, and various magics, and so on and so forth. But this item had basically crash landed in Antarctica, and the initial indication is that it's a hammer, because Red Skull cannot pick it up. He can't lift it. Now, this is not the hammer of Thor. This is a totally secret hammer that no one's ever known about before. And so the result here is that Red Skull's response is to basically say, no one can know about this outside of us. Basically, if you tell anybody, I'll kill you. Not only that, build a fortress, do whatever you have to do, but your job is to study this thing and learn how to use its power. Now, the big takeaway from this is that, one, this is indeed a hammer. Two, Red Skull basically lies to Von Strucker and everybody else when he says, this is explicitly for the Fuhrer. None of you guys are supposed to know about this thing. This is not for your eyes to see, when in reality, it was never moved, it was never lifted, because it couldn't be lifted by Red Skull or anybody else. And so when Cynthia finishes telling this story to Baron Zemo, what she ends up doing is basically saying, this is, what I have here is a map, a location of where this hammer is. Because, accessing this tomb, again, only really reveals information. It doesn't actually reveal any particularly powerful artifacts. And so Cynthia essentially betrays Zemo and takes off to find the hammer for herself. And so at this point, we jump forward to the actual Fear itself story. So again, we're going to do this very similar to Civil War, in the sense that you've got the tie-ins and you've got the main event itself. Now, this is where Fear itself really begins to give us what it was that Joe Quesada and company were shooting for, in the sense that, like Civil War, it was designed to be a reflection of the modern day. Now, this is in 2010, 2011, and so we're talking about right before the point when housing prices, after the mortgage prices, had reached bare bottom, when it basically dropped off to the lowest point and then began the point of recovery. And so what you had here are a lot of people who are just angry, right? I mean, that's the nature of this. While this story isn't really political, it is designed to basically take these political tones from the real world and feed them into the story, right? You had the mortgage crisis in 2008, Americans almost destroyed the economy, Obama told the American people, sorry about your luck, bailed out the banks, and that was the end of that. And so with this whole thing going forward, what you have are people who are in a state of anger and resentment and who are lashing out accordingly. But the funny thing about this is that Steve Rogers basically catches on to this small nuanced thing and essentially says people are more aggressive than they normally would be. And so where he's kind of looking at all this, the initial response is something's wrong. Things aren't right here. Something's going on here. This also leads to the various armed forces tear gassing protesters, because as we know, civil disobedience is still disobedience. And so of course they're basically all tear gassed and they're knocked out for a time, or at the very least subdued, and things kind of return to a state of normalcy. Now, picking back up with Sim and traveling to Antarctica, this massive citadel of sorts has basically been constructed. Not only that, what she says is that all these scientists from World War II are currently occupied inside this place, that they've been stuck here the entire time, and they have no idea of what's been going on outside in the real world. They don't know the war is ended. They don't know that Red Skull is basically dead. They don't know any of that stuff. As far as they're aware, they're still operating on orders from the Red Skull. And what they've been doing is studying this hammer the entire time. But in the end, it's all to no avail. They haven't figured out a way to lift it. They haven't figured out a way to tap into its power. It's just a thing that's there, and they're basically doing the same thing day in and day out. And so what ends up happening here is that Sin basically approaches the hammer, picks it up, and immediately switches over. She basically starts calling herself Scout. Now, the reason why is because that's the actual inscription on the hammer itself. It's basically that hammer's name.
Hello?
So
I talked to my boss
she begins going forward saying,
about basically bringing her to the job.
This is when we start to switch over into Iron Man.
She was like, basically, she won't be there tomorrow, but definitely Tuesday, and I had to fill out some paperwork for her. But she just not told me that it's free for summer camp for part-time staff. So, so it's for tweens. So it's from 1st to 8th grade. So I'm sorry, I was gonna say if Malachi wanted to be do summer camp, or with I don't know which one. I'm not doing nothing.
In this instance, what ends up happening here is with the
Malachi,
shit, like I don't got nobody to watch him.
Yeah, so they have a summer. They said it'll be free for anyone that's part-time staff.
So you consider part-time?
Yeah.
So he'll be able to go with you.
Yeah.
So
So she said, yeah, I would be able to come Tuesday. So the only issue is tomorrow. I don't know. Is it possible? Who's picking up the boys? You said Mary?
So, okay, so Mary picks, okay, so tomorrow I don't have anybody to pick up Malachi, so he won't be able to go to the program because he gets out at 1. But, I'm trying to think, because I can always tell the ESY, like, he don't have to go, because again, it's hard because of the time. So you're saying that he can go with you and stay with you?
Well, she said for next year, next summer.
Well, he's in 1st grade. Well, he's going to 2nd grade.
Yeah, for like next summer camp, he can come with me.
Oh, okay, then that's fine.
But I'm saying from Monday, I don't know who was watching the boys.
So, Masai and the baby gonna be in daycare.
Right.
The problem is, I don't know that yet. I can ask my girlfriend and see. I'm trying to get in contact with her sister, but I don't know yet.
Because if anything, I probably had to call out.
Tomorrow?
Yeah.
Why? Because of Malachi?
Because I'll have Ivy with me, and she said I won't be able to bring her in tomorrow.
Captain America might be able to overcome Asgardian magic.
So wait, you gonna have Ivy or you're not?
I'm gonna try to get her for the week.
So you can't, you gonna call out because you can't bring her?
Yeah, I mean, Ivy won't unless you want to pick her up tomorrow.
Well, I gotta work tomorrow.
That's what I'm saying.
So you gonna call out for the week of work?
No, just for tomorrow. And bring her Tuesday.
So she can come. Well, shit, if you call out, then you can just get Malachi.
That's what I'm saying. I can do that too.
And then I just gotta figure out Tuesday.
Alright, let me see.
And Mary can pick him up. I mean, Mary can just pick him up in the afternoon. Or I could pick him up when I get off of work. You gonna stay here with them, or you gonna go back to your place?
I probably want to be at my spot.
Okay, but you would have to come get him from here.
We should be standing next to the earthly superheroes who are looking to try to find a way to rebuild.
Because what I'm saying is the bus can't.
Oh, okay, the bus drops him off there. Gotcha. What time bus drop him off?
So, okay, so I would say definitely be here before 1 o'clock, maybe 12:45. He gets out at 1, but the thing is, he he well, he gets on the bus around 12:45, so he can be here anywhere from 1 to 1:15. So when Lewis got him the other day, he got off at 1:15, but for Mary, the bus was at the house by like, I don't know, 1:05.
Alright,
Because the school is not far; it's only about 10, 15 minutes away.
Now, it's small things like this that really go
alright,
towards
let me
the
see,
idea of Thor
because
becoming
I
unworthy. When Thor
gotta see, because if I'm calling out, I got a little note today.
Okay.
The hammer had basically had a will of its
All right,
own.
well, go ahead, figure it out, and just call me back and let me know.
Alright.
But at the time it was,
Okay,
at the
bye-bye.
time we didn't. And that was the nature of the hammer in response to how the Asgardian mythos functioned. That while it was the hammer that Thor wielded, it was basically passed on to him by Odin. And the enchantment that Odin placed on it was that only a worthy person could wield it. And so the response that Odin makes is that he gives and he takes away. And so basically it's one of these things, by the grace of me goes your ability to wield that hammer. And this is a significant moment because it shows just how much more powerful Odin is than Thor. Regardless, what ends up happening is Odin basically says, we're departing this place. We don't need humanity's aid. We're leaving this place and we're going back to Asgard. And so again, it's interesting because switching back over to Skadi and with this guy, basically the serpent, her response is, if what you're looking to do is topple the Asgardians and essentially conquer the world, is this something that can be done by us? And the response he gives is, it will not just be us. It's going to be those who I deem to be worthy. And so what he
Please
does
leave your
is he
message
basically
for
summons a handful of hammers, which are going to land in different places on Earth, and various people are going to pick them up, and they're going to become the worthy, basically the followers of the serpent, and in turn, like, be imbued with all new levels of powers, each one representing a different facet of what the serpent stands for. And so while all this is going on, essentially Earth is under siege by hidden Asgardian powers that no one really seemed to be aware of before outside of Odin. And in the moment when they can use the help of the Asgardians, they leave. Odin instructs all of them to walk away. And so they're all basically being taken back to Asgard. Thor himself is being forced back there, and Earth is being left to the defense of the superheroes who were there. And that's really about it.
He just checked twice. I saw it. She's built different and she does not care. Bro, look at the line. She's reading the menu without even looking up. It's at her eyes. He just checked twice. I saw it. She's built different and she does not care. Bro, look at the line. She's reading the menu without even looking up. It's at her eyes. He just checked twice. I saw it.
Bro, that nigga just tripped over Casper! I'm not gonna lie, bro. Yo, mom, baby. Nah. I'm gonna give it a buck. Yo, getting the beer, this shit got you drunk as fuck, bro. You're bugging out. Nobody's spitting on you. Stop talking to me, nigga. Stop talking to me. What? Yeah, I got big ass security. I'm on Jack Dorsey. Nobody's spitting on you, nigga.
It is a really cool story. It is a pretty badass story. In this
Bro,
part,
nobody's spitting on you, bro. You must stand over that big ass head. Nobody knew you were being fucking wrong.
Originally, it was like a sci-fi story. It was a series of like science fiction mystery comics, and then Thor. And then Thor was so popular that eventually Journey in the Mystery became the Thor line. For the most part, when Journey in the Mystery was brought back, it basically revolved around Loki. And the reason for that, again, came out of Siege. And this is part of the thing that we've talked about in the past. When we said that Marvel does soft reboot, which is to say they shuffle up a character, they change status quo, but they don't do hard line reboots, despite the fact that they need to. In this instance, what ended up happening is that during the events of Siege on Asgard, in Thor issue number 617, which was actually part of the aftermath of Siege, we ended up discovering that what Loki had done is he had gone to Hel, who was basically the ruler of the Asgardian afterlife, and it essentially like bartered things, so that he could basically return to life when his physical form died. And so what ended up happening after this was that in Thor 617, Loki came back, but he was really hit, and he had no knowledge of anything he had done when he was an adult. He was basically a blank slate. So again, it was pretty smart, and it was a pretty genius idea in terms of trying to rewrite his character. Hit Loki is actually pretty cool. Namely, Loki has discovered the internet, and it is interesting.
Let's get money.
He's basically taking pictures of all these crazy things happening around like Asgard, and people are just like, that's not like you had to have used a lens filter because obviously he's using Instagram. But anyway, one of the things to notice here is that Loki's basically being ridiculed by one of the other Asgardians, and this was par for the course. People remember him as the trickster, the bad guy, the one that essentially brought nothing but ruin and pain upon Asgard itself. But for Thor, one thing to remember is Loki is his brother, and Thor really sees this version of Kid Loki for what he is. He's not really blinded by the the things Loki's done in the past. As a result of it, he kind of chases a few of these things off and basically says, hey, look, this is kind of how these things go. Eventually, it'll pass. And so it's kind of interesting here, because Loki's saying stuff like when he discovered the internet, he's saying stuff like, I told people I was an Asgardian, and they started calling me a troll. There's nobody on the internet believes me. And to me, it's such an awesome excuse, right? Because it's first time, well, I am aware of the internet, and we avoided Avalon, because people on the internet are weird. Like,
Bro, I had no issue with
but this is kind of a funny thing. You know, like, I like the idea of Kid Loki discovering the internet.
I don't know who you are. I wasn't
But what Loki ends up doing is stumbling upon this magpie before. And as soon as he approaches it, the thing explodes and reveals it. And this is why Journey into Mystery is so cool. Is because when you look at traditional Thor stories, which is to say basically everything after Journey into Mystery, and especially going from really the Bronze Age, from like the mid-1970s up to the modern day, Thor stories are pretty straightforward. It's just like Thor's fighting a bad guy and smashing things with his hammer, because that's what he does, and that's what you watch and see. But with Journey into Mystery, the way this is done is a throwback to the old Journey into Mystery story, where it was as much about like the history and mythos of Asgard and telling stories in an Asgardian fashion as it was about events unfolding in a way that was interesting. So in this journey that Loki goes on, he discovers this key, takes it to what's basically kind of an elf of sorts, who starts singing off this poem. Loki listens to it, realizes part of the poem is a location. He travels there, awakens a demon, which immediately explodes, eats the demon to Volstagg, and then listens to what Volstagg says, which is kind of a rhyme, or really kind of a few words it says, follows the advice that's given to him in the sense of it's like the third passage or so on and so forth, discovers a dragon, which basically explodes in front of him, kind of disintegrates, and then like at least it speaks to him in the old tongue first, then it disintegrates, and then he starts basically following these sage bits. He reads this little passage that says that Loki went into the void, and no one knows why. And that's when he falls down into this darker place and discovers the older version of himself. This is classic Journey into Mystery Thor storytelling. So meeting with his older self, this older version of Loki basically says, look, like, I am here to impart wisdom on you, and I'm the reason why you exist. Basically, I have gone in the power. Everything you said at the beginning of the video, and the idea was that I would be reborn in a new physical form. Now, this is important, because this is not really the spirit of older Loki. It's more of like a memory echo. But this is kind of an important thing, because over the course of the Journey into Mystery line, which we may or may not cover, there will be points when Kid Loki will meet with his older self. And there's actually points in the modern Thor storytelling where Kid Loki will not only meet with his older self, he'll actually meet with the female version of himself, and then the modern day Loki will meet with Kid Loki and the female version and his original self. So it's really one of these things where, because of the steps that Loki's taken to ensure his own existence, very akin to like Voldemort and Horcruxes, what this means is that there are sort of echoes of himself that exist out there in the Marvel landscape, which can be encountered by any one of these versions at any particular point in time, assuming that echo's already been cleared. But it's basically him saying, look, like, I have sage advice to give you, I have bits of knowledge to give you, you have to listen to this, because there is a crisis coming to Earth and to Asgard. Of course, we know that older Loki is speaking of the serpent, and these are important things to remember, because by and large, Loki was always considered to be the trickster and the guy who created mischief, and that's true. But because of his experiences in traveling around the various cosmos, because of his experience in seeing and doing all these things, what this means is that Loki has a vast amount of knowledge, some of which is based on things he's not supposed to know. And so because of all this, he's a very, very huge resource if you can find a way to tap into that without incurring his wrath or letting him trick you or something along those lines. And that's what happens with Kid Loki. And it's kind of a cool thing, because this is really Marvel saying, like, Loki is Loki is Loki is Loki. It'll always end up being the same. All of this has happened before, and all of it'll happen again, to quote Riley Scott. That all roads lead to Rome. That no matter how many times Loki's reborn, no matter how many times he returns to his former self, he will always end up becoming the Loki that we always know, because that's what his character is. That's what he's about. And so what this story does is it basically segues into the tail bit of Asgard, Fear Itself that we covered in the last video, where Odin essentially like leads the Asgardians out of Earth and takes them directly back to Asgard, to the Asgardian dimension, where they can essentially go through and start recreating everything. Now, at this point, we kind of switch over to the aftermath, right? Like to when they're actually in Asgard itself. And remember, like this place is just in shambles. I mean, it's been this way ever since Ragnarok. It's been just torn to pieces. Now, again, it's entirely within the power of Odin to fix it all. And that's really what he says. But notice this, not everyone agrees with what Odin does. And that's one of the misconceptions a lot of people, I think, have when it comes to the Thor mythos, is a lot of people look at the character of Odin and they say, well, he's an all-father, he's a leader. Of course they all follow him. Loki and Thor are the only ones that really kind of do what they want. Not true. Just because Odin is the all-father and the leader does not mean everyone agrees with what he does. The difference here is that Odin has enough power to eliminate anybody, and he pretty much will. And so because of this, Thor basically speaks up. When a couple people start talking about how it feels like a retreat, Thor says that's because of it. Because the power that's there on Earth, whatever this circuit is enough that it scares Odin. And Odin is essentially running away. And so when Thor questions his father before, where he calls him in and says, look, you're essentially a coward, is what you are. Like, you're a weakling. Our job is to protect all 9 of the realms. You are hiding in your home, waiting for the threat to come to you. You are every ounce of power that you've been talking about. Then Odin immediately has him locked up. Immediately has Thor, like, taken away and taken away. And so at this point, this is when we start getting into the idea of the word. Those individuals out there who are giving him secret Asgardian hammer. And the first one up is Juggernaut. So, but what's going to happen is, of course, you have Juggernaut going through this workout 7 minutes of real long gifts. And then like, while all this is going on, a hammer crash lands into the screen. And of course, this is one of the things that you end up finding out. Those individuals who are worthy, the hammer will speak to them. They just hear words, voices, things like that, emanating from the hammer itself. And so when Juggernaut picks it up, he basically ends up becoming Curse, the Breaker of Stone. Now again, this idea of Juggernaut gaining another power source in addition to what he has will be a major plot point when it comes to the story. This is something I want you to keep in the back of your head as you go further through the Healing Stuff event. But Juggernaut with his powers is a myth, and he just starts smashing everything in his path. And so what ends up happening is you switch over directly to Steve Rogers, Captain America, to Maria Hill, to Sharon Carter, and it's basically like the new Avengers roster combined with what passes for what's left of the Thunderbolts. And it's essentially this idea that like all this pandemonium and chaos is happening around the world, that these objects are crash landing. Now, in response to them landing, various places around the world, major metropolitan areas, are turning into absolute madhouse. Things are completely and totally going wrong. And so Reed Richards comes in as part of the Future Foundation. Remember, this comes after his own Fantastic Four, so the Future Foundation's already been formed by that point. But Reed chimes in as the Future Foundation says, look, a hammer or something like that has crash landed in New York. We're studying it at the moment, but it looks like it's it's of Asgardian nature. So this thing looks pretty intense. And then we switch over to the one thing everybody wants to see, the Incredible Hulk. This is one of the coolest things. This is what I love about you guys. Everybody loves the Incredible Hulk. What people love even more is when the Incredible Hulk gets something that modifies his power. What they love more than that is when he gets somebody else's power source. Specifically when he gets an Asgardian hammer. People love that kind of stuff. But this basically takes place after the events of Red Patch 3. And really kind of the finality of that, from part of the Monster Hulk. And we saw from that story that it picked up, it really ended with like the Incredible Hulk, Bruce Banner, and Betty Ross, Red She-Hulk, just kind of jumping out and doing what they do in the Hero. And so they're just kind of there doing their thing. But while all this is going on, a hammer basically lands. And the Incredible Hulk sort of listens to it, hears it talking, and then against Betty Ross' protest, goes to pick it up. And when he does, he turns into like the most badass looking character. Now, it is not an accident for why he looks this way. While this is a totally new design for him, it does have some hints and homages to the time when he basically became a horseman for Apocalypse. When he became War, I think it was. But again, I mean, he's Null, and he's basically called the Breaker of Worlds, because what the hell else would you call him? Everybody loves World Breaker Hulk. But again, it's kind of cool, because from here, we basically pick up with a character named Titania. Now, the character of Titania made her debut back in Secret Wars, issue number 3, the original Secret Wars, from 1984. The original Secret Wars was a highly publicized story. So because of that, the idea was that if so many people were going to be reading the story, then not only was the basis of it to bring like all the heroes and villains together and have them face off against each other in an effort to sell toys, but why not add some new characters in there? And so we got a couple different people there. We got Jennifer Carpenter, who was the original Spider-Woman, but then we also got Titania, Mary McFerrin. Now, Mary McFerrin was not really interesting up until that point. In fact, her origin story was pretty mundane. She was raised in the suburbs of Denver, she was shy, she was timid, and never really had anything going for her. The idea was that during the events of Secret Wars, before Dr. Doom had stolen the power of Galactus and then eventually the power of the Beyonder, what he had done was he had basically created kind of like a Superman team trying to recruit people to his side. And so what ended up happening here is that Doom discovered Mary and another character, and I can't remember her name, like Vanessa, I think it was, and then in turn basically endowed them with powers. Now, Mary was endowed with basically super strength, durability, different things like that, and she was also like grown in size. So she became a lot more voluptuous, and she became a lot stronger, a lot more muscular than her previous version had been. Now, after the events of Secret Wars, he kind of had an on-again, off-again relationship with Crusher 2, which basically became more solidified by the mid-1990s. And so by that point going forward, they were just kind of together. But from there, like what ends up happening, she's one of the it's not that, it's because these keys don't go to this car. It crashes, she grabs it, picks it up, and then she tells Exhorting Man, you have a handler waiting on you. And this is kind of a big deal, because Crusher Creel is someone who can basically absorb various metals and turn himself into those metals, absorb their properties. And so in turn, giving him a hammer, I would argue he could potentially be one of the most powerful. Now, we'll find out as time goes on. But it's somewhat of a cool thing, because in this moment, with all of the worthy issues being selected, or a huge number of them being selected, essentially the Serpent starts reaching out to all of them and saying, your job now is to basically fill the world with chaos, to see as much chaos, destruction, and fear as you possibly can. And when that's done, we'll take the next step. And that's exactly what they do. They start ripping through and tearing things up. Now, this fear spreads more fear. I mean, the Incredible Hulk running through, ripping things to pieces, Red She-Hulk doing what she can, it's instilling as much fear as possible, because now you have all these people with these insane levels of strength and power who are just running rampant across the face of the earth. And when the Avengers try to respond, the problem with this is that their communications network is essentially taken down when the White House and the Capitol are totally obliterated. And so when Captain America kind of sends out the SOS and says Avengers assemble, there's no one there to respond. No one answers him. And so essentially everyone's kind of scattered to the four winds. It's pandemonium. It's the worst case situation. It's pretty messed up and it's pretty rough, but it's amazing.
Saying you're leaving, but I'm not saying you loading up.
You're not gonna sit up here talking to me like that when I just told you Pippin is pulling up. The dude right here. So y'all gonna stop yelling at me like I just said something. You shut up when you're yelling at me, bro.
I'm not yelling.
You are just yelling at me for no reason when I just said Pippin is pulled up.
So you're
And I didn't yell at him, John.
Let's diffuse.
And I didn't yell at him, John.
Yeah, let's diffuse.
Bro, but you put me in handcuffs because I'm upset. Y'all didn't ask me.
We are continuing on with
This dude is
fear
right up in my
itself.
face.
And here's the deal with fear itself. I kind of want to talk about this for a second, because there's a couple things that I feel like we need to explain. Looking at the comments of the previous videos and some of the questions you guys had. First and foremost, fear itself was one of these stories that was designed to rework things. Marvel still had a lot of things that have been held over from the Joe Quesada era of or at least his whole idea of pushing things and making a new direction. So essentially everything from like Avengers Disassembled running all the way up to really the Heroic Agents, running all the way up to Dark Winds. So over the span of about 7 years or so, there were a lot of things that had happened, a lot of status quo changes. The Avengers were disbanded, they were replaced by the new Avengers. 98% of the mutant population lost their powers. There were a lot of things that went on in Marvel at the time. One of the most notable things was the death of Captain America, and we'll talk more about that here in a second. But what this story was designed to do in a lot of ways was to take a lot of those threads that have kind of been left hanging, those plot threads that have just sort of been dangling all this time, and essentially wrap them up to basically tie up loose ends. Now, not all of them were tied up, and in fact, the ones that weren't tied up were designed or were left that way for the purpose of telling future stories later on down the line. For example, the formation of Stark and Brilliant that can come later on, different things like that. But the idea here is that we initially pick up with Captain America facing off against, the forces of Sin, and really what kind of passes for Hydra, but not really. But again, this is not like Steve Rogers' Captain America. This is Bucky Barnes' Captain America. Now, the reason why I feel like that needs to be explained is because, one, I don't think I explained that in the first or second video, and two, this event here itself actually wraps that up. So when Captain America died after the events of Civil War, and following that, Iron Man, I'm pretty sure it's Iron Man, takes Captain America's uniform and gives it to Bucky Barnes. And so Bucky Barnes becomes the new Captain America. And his arrival was met with it was a mixed reaction. Some of the old guard who really wanted Steve Rogers to stay, and there were some who were the old guard that wanted Steve Rogers to go. And then of course there were new fans who wanted to see Steve Rogers stay.
You're good. Hands on the camera.
It was really kind of a mixed bag.
No weapons at all? I know nothing about this. No, I know you don't. I want your friend to explain to you. Ask your friend.
He came back 2009, 2010, so on, and it was of course the Captain America Reborn storyline. So you found out he was Primus Prime. They basically pulled a Batman from Final Crisis. But then once he made his return, there was a one-shot follow-up. And it was basically the question of who's going to wear the shield? Who's going to have Captain America's shield? Is it going to be Bucky or is it going to be Steve Rogers? And what this did is it allowed Marvel to spin Steve Rogers out.
Was it real life shit whenever you sent that
called Secret Avengers. And Secret Avengers basically served the purpose of being like a Black Ops team.
How was your daughter?
That Steve Rogers largely led. And that was
looks to me like you wanted me to take the charge or go together with you if we would have went to jail together. You wanted me to go down first, knowing I have so much shit on my mind.
How many times really is Bucky Barnes that we don't team? Now, switching over to Asgard, this was interesting interesting situation because this again deals with
I read everything.
and that's something that goes on.
Being shot 5 times and being able to tell the tale. You say you left that life behind you, man, but like, in my opinion, you picked up a worse life.
He was opening a drink. The cops are. No, he was opening a drink. I hear what he heard. What do you hear, dude? I was gonna drink.
What is he doing? What in the world?
How old's your daughter, man? 2 months old today, bro. 2 months old?
No, it looks to me like you wanted me to take the charge or go together with you if we would have went to jail today. You wanted me to go down for your shit, knowing I have so much shit on the line.
Eric, be honest with me. How many times did we tell you that we didn't want him to come? Then what did you keep on being adamant about?
I seen it, so you got a lot, bro. I read everything, literally.
So you just got your life back together. You survived a miracle, bro. Being shot 5 times and being able to tell the tale. You say you left that life behind you, man, but like, in my opinion, you picked up a worse life.
He was opening a drink. The cops are. No, he was opening a drink. I hear what he heard. What do you hear, dude? I was gonna drink.
What is he doing? What in the world? He just jumped the fence.
He jumped in back to one of these fences, but we believe that's his car right there. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't even hear a cop. He's okay, superhuman.
You can't run, but you can't hide. Literally, it's only his car.
My bad, officers. I just wanted to see where he ran off.
What's your name?
Jadon Adams.
John Baker. I support what y'all are doing. Y'all are trying to get the bad folks off the street. I get that.
Yes, sir.
But we need to be involved before we get to this point.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Have you ever seen a 2-man go this wrong before?
Yeah, we don't use that.
Bro broke the bro code, man. He gets caught, he needs to be castrated. I think y'all missed it. Whenever you arrest him, can you just do me one favor? Can you blast Not Like Us?
That I cannot do. I tell him, drop us up right now. I think that's a clear compromise.
But the thing is, that take up too much time.
I think we're gonna be moving.
Yep.
All
niggas. What?
That nigga running?
Oh. Hurry up, Bryce. Let's do our slow run, Emily. What the fuck?
She left you?
What is this?
I don't know.
Huh? Come on. What the fuck is this? I'm going to get my woman. How are you? I came in there to look for you. I literally hopped out my car.
It's been so long. It's been like a year.
Yeah, I don't know why they keep trying to ship us together. I'm like,
oh my God.
It'll happen in due time if it's supposed to happen.
Yeah. Like, you don't want to risk like forces or anything.
Yeah, let's not force it. They're like every day, Bimley. All I see in my comments. It's so crazy.
Oh, I think I checked. I don't think I saw one.
You didn't see that?
No, maybe not one, but that's okay.
All my comments, like if you go to all my videos, it's just Bimley.
Why don't you mind your fucking business?
Bro, that's how we talk. You know we talk like that. Like, damn, bitch, you tripping. Like, you know we talk like that, gang. He's saying the wrong name. He's saying the wrong name. He's saying the wrong name. Hold on, I'm about to ask him what he said. Huh, what happened? No, what you just said.
I said you're a hoe.
Why you calling me a hoe?
Because I just called out to you. I called him a hoe because I just called out to him.
Why you calling me a hoe, man? Don't do that,
Oh,
man.
no, I'm so sorry.
Bro, that's how we talk. You know we talk like that. Like, damn, bitch, you tripping. Like, you know we talk like that, gang. He's saying the wrong name. He's saying the wrong name. Bro, that's how we talk. You know we talk like that. Like, bro, that's how we talk. You know we talk like that. Like, damn, bitch, you tripping. Like, you know we talk like that, gang. He's saying the wrong name. He's saying the wrong name. He's saying the wrong name. I'm gonna ask what he said. Huh, what happened? No, what you just said? I said you're a hoe. Why you calling me a hoe? Because I just called out to you. I got him a hoe because I just called out to him. I ain't hear you, bro. I heard what you said. Don't do that, gang. I'm just saying, don't do that, gang. I'm just saying, don't do that, gang. Don't call me a hoe, gang. Like, don't do that, gang. Don't do that, gang. Don't do check out. Let's do it. Can I get a picture or something? Yeah. Oh no, I can't get a picture. No, you can't. Get one on the stream. I'm gonna get off the stream. I'm gonna go to the stream. I'm gonna subscribe 5 subs. Alright, sure. No. That's crazy.
That's for you calling me a hoe. That's for you calling me a hoe. That's for you calling me a hoe. That's for you calling me a hoe, gang, because you call me a hoe. That's how you talk, you know? Baby girl, with your flaws. Every time I'm the baby, I be all on your walls. Hey, screaming, hey, you screaming, baby, you can't pick up my calls. Baby girl, with your flaws. Every time I'm the baby, I be all on your walls. Baby girl, with your flaws. Every time I'm the baby, I be all on your walls. Hey, screaming, hey, you screaming, baby, you can't pick up my calls.
Party.
Liz, let me out of my room.
Can we talk?
No.
I'm sorry.
You threw my phone on the ground and you broke my TV. You cost $1,000 for the day. Let me out.
Hey man, I'm sitting right now. I need some advice. You're very experienced in this. I think we got squatters. What do you think I should do?
I legally don't know anything about squatters. I've never legally.
Property on land, and there's fees and fines, and then now we have homeless people squatting in my shed.
This is what I would hypothetically not do. I would hypothetically not follow them.
Joe spotted.
I would hypothetically not stand on the sidewalk of the McDonald's.
Here, let's just stand on the sidewalk.
I would not hypothetically cuss at cops.
You didn't trespass them, so shut the fuck up!
If you were to be hypothetically arrested, not yell out saying how you're a multimillionaire.
I am a multi-millionaire. I promise you. I can take this as far as you want.
Hypothetically, I wouldn't do any of those things.
Okay.
There are 3 light switches.
While you leave, we got kicked out the seats. Nigga, I was not finna just go to the suite. That shit got me mad as fuck. Like, bro, that late, gang. All right, let me give y'all a rundown. For anyone that was not in the stream, gang, I'm gonna give this one time. I'm gonna say this rundown one time.
Okay, so continuing on with Fear itself, it's basically with the arrival of Thor, with Thor showing back up. Now here's the funny thing, Thor showing up here after being kind of banished, but not really from Asgard, once he shows up here, he immediately arrives in Broxton, Oklahoma. Now again, for those of you guys who are not really familiar with Thor comics, Broxton is basically where he rebuilt Asgard. The problem with this is that the war of Land essentially came on the doorsteps of Broxton, and once the city is completely totally disarray, so nothing here is too hot of a
No! Fuck no! Absolutely not! With your ignorant ass! Hell no! No!
And it's kind of a cool thing because we end up meeting up really with plastic and plastic and theory is always alive because he's plastic and theory. Why wouldn't he be? But well, the question sort of asks, what is this happening here, and what's this specifically that Bucky is
Sweetheart, can you ask if somebody could put extra on my tip? Could you ask somebody if they could put some extra on my tip?
In the house.
Everyone's really full here.
All right, thanks so much.
Have a good night.
Thanks.
And it kind of makes sense because the Asgardians are like children for him. You don't tell your child everything because your child doesn't need to know everything. And so it's much the same way when it comes to Thor and Odin and the rest of the Asgardians. Odin houses
Do you have the remaining code?
And those secrets are really just his to keep and to let him out each time he makes the information. And so with a situation like this, but that's really about it. And the bigger thing with Pixar is that the sooner starting with a full night of
Yeah, hello, buddy.
Yeah, can you move your car for us?
Sorry.
This is my car, and you're blocking my car in with your car.
Okay, this is my driveway, mate.
Yeah, I know. That's why I parked it on here. I've only gone to John's over here. We was watching football, and his drive's blocked. So I thought, while you want here, I'll park on here.
Okay, but this is my house.
Yeah, I know, but I'm only going next door, and there's no one on here.
Okay, but you parked in my driveway, so I've parked now. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. That's why I want you to move. Can you just move quickly, and I'll get out of your way.
Hey, I'm not moving my car now. But because I'm comfortable now. You made the decision to park on my driveway, so yeah, like you're gonna have to wait until whenever I move now.
That's not very nice, is it?
Yeah, but who's invited you to my driveway?
No one. I just parked it. I was next door. John, do you know John?
Yeah, I know John, but I didn't tell him to let you park on my drive.
I said you'd be all right with it.
Yeah, but I'm not okay with it.
Well, I didn't know that.
Okay, but like,
I was late, and I wanted to get in for the 3 o'clock kickoff.
Okay, so what?
So that's why I parked it. Because it was easy.
Yeah, mate, that's not my problem.
If you just move your car, it ain't be a problem to anyone.
Yeah, but okay. Because of you, okay? Because like we've got 2 cars. I've got a car and then my wife's got a car. My wife. Okay, well, my wife now has had to park like around the corner now and then walk, and then I had to park behind your car now.
Yeah, well, if you move it, I'll get away and she can come back, can't she?
Well, like she's inside the house now. That means we have to move 2 cars. It's just an inconvenience.
So when do you think you can be bothered to move your car?
I don't know if I need to go to the shop or something like that. I'll then go.
Well, I need to go.
Well, that's your problem, mate. I don't know. Go back to John's house, get a taxi. I don't know, but I'm not.
Well, that's a bit
Well, it's a bit inconvenient parking on my drive.
I was told I could do.
Okay, well, if you were told to jump off a mountain, are you going to jump off a mountain?
That's a different.
Well, no, it's the same kind of principle, mate. This is my problem. No, but mate, you know.
And you knew that was my motherfucking baby daddy, bitch. That's who did, ho. Nah, that's who did. Damn. And you knew that was my motherfucking baby daddy, bitch. That's who did, ho. And you knew that was my motherfucking baby daddy, bitch. That's who did, ho. Nah, that's who did. Damn. He been coming down forever. He been coming down shit forever. How long you been coming down the house? No, everybody been coming down the house. No. Somebody back. Hey, yo, hey. And I ain't been down with a brand new house.
Mo, let her go.
I ain't been down with this go
Okay, let her go.
No, I don't care, bitch. And I ain't been doing that, you bitch. I know what fucking shit.
Okay, let her go. Mo.
No, I don't chill, bitch. And I ain't been doing that for you, bitch. Hey, come on. I don't chill, bitch. I don't chill. Bitch, I ain't been doing that for you. You let go. No, let go. I'm trying. Come on, bitch. Yo, bitch, move. You a bad hoe. Don't cut it.
definitely, everybody would like
just like navigating the waters of using Asgardian energy with very least understanding how it works. I mean, he's made he's made like 4 Buster Suits.
Since I did,
So it's not entirely, something that is entirely unaware. But at this point, we end up having Thor, who was basically faced off against the Serpent, and he was able, I mean, he wasn't really able to hold his own, but he was enough of a challenge that the Serpent
since I didn't sign that paper, is that like what terms of termination or
against Ben Grimm and the Incredible Hulk. Now, Thor fighting against Ben Grimm is pretty quick and to the point. I mean, he's defeated pretty fast, and it's kind of interesting. Thor literally throws his helmet and summons it back to himself, and it punches a hole through Ben Grimm, much like you guys probably saw in the story of Infinity when Thor destroyed it. But then he turns his attention to the Incredible Hulk, and this fight is hardcore. I mean, it is an absolute brutal, intense fight. I mean, it's balls to the wall, and it's cool to see because with these two guys, tearing through each other, it's literally blow for blow, punch for punch, hit for hit. But one of the things that Thor says, this is a very, very big thing. One of the things that Thor says is, "I can't beat you." Like I know for a fact, I've
like you
never
said,
been
multiple people
and
are saying
response is,
that
"I always do."
doing things
and that makes sense. I mean, the Incredible
like a black person would be hostile, aggressive,
logic and reason, that Thor would not have been able
threatening.
to defeat the Incredible Hulk.
That could get me in some serious trouble. That could get me arrested. I've already been through all of this before with someone saying that I was harassing them and it wasn't the truth.
And the Incredible Hulk would just be too strong for Superman, and then Superman will be defeated. But like at the outset,
I don't care to bother anyone here. They have their own issues and they take it out on me, which is fine. I will be attempting to transfer to is the grounds crew still available? Can I still do that?
Everything's going on with like the Serpent and with Captain America and so on. This is kind of a big moment here in fear itself. And the reason why is because
I've been speaking with some of the grounds members. They told me that there's some issues there. Honestly, I don't feel safe here.
And they all get dealt with quick, fast, and in a hurry. I mean, they're taken out right off the bat. They're not killed. They're all just basically knocked out right off the bat. And in turn, Captain America throws his shield to the Serpent, and the Serpent breaks it in half. Now, this is a very, very big thing. Because the only time we've ever really seen this happen is one, it was a person with reality-warping powers, or two, Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet. We've never seen a person by sheer strength alone shatter the shield of Captain America. That's never happened before. And that's a pretty big deal. The problem with this is that in reality, the event of Captain America's shield being shattered the way it was during the Infinity Gauntlet really kind of overshadowed it because the event was so significant. But essentially what's going on here is the Serpent has single-handedly
my downfall. You want my downfall. Just like it's not there. Just like them out there. Just like them out there on the floor. They have these tantrums. They say that I'm doing these things to them. And I can tell by based on what you lay out to me that a lot of that stuff is made up and drawn out. It's made up. I understand.
My job is when they call and say, we got a meeting, we need security to be there. That's why I'm here.
I understand.
He's your supervisor. That's why he's in me. You know what I mean? We all, and then you're the person who gave us out, so that's why we're all in the same room.
I was already in Tracy's office about the thing with Marguerite. The things basically she repeated that Marquita said, that I came into her and Christian's office saying that they smelled like dead rats. Never said that. I never told her to shut the F up. I didn't get in her face. I don't argue with girls, even if they're confused or not. Like, I don't. And that stuff is they're lies. They are out there downright lies. And I'm used to people having to lie to basically bring me down. That's the only way regular people can bring somebody like me down when I don't wish to be like everybody else, is to outright lie. And this is why I have attorneys. This is why I plan on suing AIDB, because you are destroying my name, you're defaming my character, they are too, and it's not cool. It's not cool. But I'm not angry, and this is why I record my interactions, because just like you lied to my face about everything in that form, you can lie about me. This is why I don't wish to be alone with certain coworkers, because people lie. A lot.
But anyway, switching over to the X-Men, this is all post-Utopia. Now,
And I take every type of. You can't say that I am in here flipping tables and assaulting people. This is why I do the things.
What do you have a policy about recording?
Well, I'm not recording you. I'm recording this situation. I'm not recording you.
Is Deadpool had actually sent information to the superheroes on how to defeat the Skrulls. And then Norman
All right.
Osborn
So just to be clear, am I able? I'm not being terminated yet. I can return to work tomorrow. I can return to work to security. Sit in the warehouse. When it comes to opening certain things, do I just get someone else to do it? No, sir. I will not have a knife here. I will not have a box cutter.
Then why did you just ask me if you could let me stay here alone?
No, I asked you if I could get someone else to do it.
That would be a no, sir.
Outside of the U.S. government's jurisdiction, but not really, and they were still considered to be part of San Francisco. Now, the way that this happened was actually by way of this chick,
I'm not having a weapon of any type on my person because I don't know what you are going to say. So, I don't know.
They basically briefed her on what's going on so far. And one of the things that really pointed out here, and this is pretty important, is this established that Juggernaut is insanely powerful at this point, multiple times over than how he normally is. Because Reed has the Crimson Gem of Sidorak, as we know the inscription goes, whosoever touches this gem or possesses this gem shall possess the bands of the power of the Crimson Bands of Sidorak. Henceforth, you who read these words shall go forward forevermore, and humans are kill for you. When it comes to that level of power, he's already unstoppable in his own right. It's one of those things where, like, once the Juggernaut starts moving, nobody can really stop him. And he's invulnerable to pretty much every form of physical harm. The only way to really defeat him is to remove his helmet and use a psychic attack or something along those lines. Because even with his helmet gone, conventional weapons still wouldn't work because he's bulletproof. It would just bounce off you. And so when it comes to something like this, what this does is it amplifies his power even that much more. And so it's basically the power of the Juggernaut with us guarding the cup. And it's insane what he's capable of. Not only that, he's basically amassed a whole bunch of followers. And this has been done more for like a ransom act, in the sense that earlier what essentially gone on, or at least what happens here, is that when the X-Men launch you initial attack, it's really more of like testing to see what they can and can't do. Because they don't really know what kind of power the Juggernaut has since it's been amplified. And so when Cyclops and company show up, it's the testing ground. They've got Colossus, they've got Kitty Pryde, they go through and they say, okay, look, like, we got to find a way to defeat this guy. And it kind of works the way it is. But initially, this initial skirmish is disastrous. Because like all the X-Men are absolutely they're decimated. Cyclops is manhandled with no real effort on behalf of Juggernaut. Iceman is taken out in the blink of an eye. He uses some Omega level hits.
I got you.
Not him really being able to stand alone against Juggernaut, Cyclops essentially calls in and says, okay, look, we have more than we have to do here. So this, of course, leads to the arrival of Magneto. And it's one of the cool things because you would expect Magneto to be able to slow down Juggernaut or something along those lines. Now, he is very large, so why not just lift him into the air? But with the enhancements offered by the Serpent, this basically makes Juggernaut and his weapons immune to the powers of Magneto. And so when Magneto stands up and essentially tries to, like, block or I guess catch the hammer of Juggernaut when he throws it, it just keeps moving towards him. Ultimately, it takes Kitty Pryde sending him away, phasing Magneto, so that way the hammer will pass right through him. Otherwise, it would have killed him. And this basically means that, like, there's no real way for the X-Men to stop him. That Juggernaut truly is unstoppable at this moment in time. And so what they do is they basically say, we need Hope Summers. Now, calling Hope Summers in is no small thing. But you're talking about a character who has the ability to duplicate the powers of anybody around her with no upper limit. And that's what she does. She literally goes through and starts tapping in to the powers. So she is basically a mutant with the powers of 1,000 X-Men, or I guess really like a couple hundred X-Men, who in turn is facing off against Juggernaut. And notice this. She does it by the skin of her teeth. What she ends up doing is seizing control of his helmet and then basically melting his helmet and pulling it off. And that's all she can do. Because the sheer number of powers she's absorbed has been entirely overwhelming. Now what this does is it allows Emma Frost to basically use Cerebra and then tap into the mind of Juggernaut. And notice this. This is one of the funny things. Emma Frost is very cavalier in how she does this, right? She's like, okay, his helmet's gone, whatever, obviously his mind, my telepathy that's, amplified several times over, and then just, shut his mind down or something along those lines. It doesn't work. Not by a long shot. His psychic mind is effectively like fractured and destroyed. Like it's to the point where she's actually thrown temporarily into a catatonic state because she cannot be.
I got you a gift. I got you a gift. It's something, I know you're used to like the chains and all that extra stuff. For that one, I know here, kid. Got this for you first. Respect it. How much you click it? We got both here now. You got no reason not to lock in.
Coach Mike, nigga. Coach Mike with you.
I got Coach Mike with you forever now.
You work with him every day, bro. Mike with you. Get to sleep with me every day, bro.
And I got you this. Let me set this out. Whenever you feel triggered, whenever you feel...
Yeah.
Apparently, we just need to stop showing fucking celebrities on, because we can't figure that out after 25 years. We just can't fucking do it. It's unbelievable. We can't do it. I tell you all the time, my production team, we just did the White House. We built a fucking arena on the side.
Hey, I'm looking at the white boy.
And you his tape, so...
So with this kind of thing in mind, Ileana Rasputin was basically considered by Cyclops to be a credible threat to the mutant community. So she was thrown to the ground. And so seeking out this information and asking her questions, she basically says, look, I can study this and I can take you to where you need to go, but you're going to have to let me out of this cell in order to do it. So it's a dangerous game that's being played. Something else is going on here. What we end up doing is kind of sidetracking for a second and picking up with some of these forces who are trying to stop Juggernaut, and none of it's working. You know, like you have Pixie who's creating like portals, trying to get him to different locations, and he just walks right through as if they're not there. You've got Rogue who tried to like absorb the power of the Juggernaut way more than she could handle, and she ended up shutting down. No one can stop her. And so what ends up happening is they end up taking Ileana Rasputin basically out into
Please leave your message for
portal and transports everybody to Cyclops to the realm of Sidorak. Now, this is where things really get cool. So, Sidorak is one of the elder demons that existed in the Marvel Universe way back in the day, and was one of the people who retreated. He's also part of the Octessence. The Octessence was a group of super old entities that existed on Earth in the Marvel Universe. And the idea was they had a contest over which one was the most powerful. And so what they ended up doing is, because they couldn't really enter the main Marvel Universe dimension, what they ended up doing was basically creating artifacts, one for each one of these members of the Octessence, and they were placed around Earth. But the idea was that an individual would pick up one of these artifacts, and when they did, they would set the Octessence prophecy in motion. The Earth would be divided into eighths, like an eighth of the Earth's population would be an army for each one of these beings, and then in turn it would just be like a massive war, an end time kind of conflict, and whichever army proved to be victorious would show which member of the Octessence was the most powerful. And so during the Korean War, King Marco picked up the artifact that belonged to Sidorak, which of course was the Crimson Gem. But with Ileana showing up here, she plays it exceedingly smart. What she basically tells Sidorak is Juggernaut is using power that is somebody else's. Now, when it comes to Sidorak, he's very much like the Old Testament God of Abraham, right? Like, I am a selfish God, and so do not use anybody's power before me. And that's how Sidorak functions. That's what he is, because the role that Juggernaut is playing is to serve explicitly for the avatar of Sidorak, the avatar of destruction. And so learning Juggernaut has accepted the power of another entity out there basically means that Sidorak strips Juggernaut of all of his power, basically takes away everything that Sidorak had given. Now, it does not really mean that Juggernaut is insanely incapable of defeating anybody. He's still insanely powerful. But the problem with this is an avatar has to exist. Someone has to be the new Juggernaut. And so where Ileana Rasputin initially steps up, what ends up happening is Colossus takes her place and says, no, I will be the new host for the Crimson Gem.
Sit down.
Now, this is where things get kind of crazy too. This is something else.
Sit down.
Transitioning back to the forces of the X-Men, there's two major things that happen. The first is that Gambit tries to use his powers to detonate objects by literally touching it to an aircraft carrier that Magneto is sending directly into Juggernaut. And the idea is to get onto him, and then Gambit will blow it up. It happens, and it still doesn't work. I mean, it's crazy, like the level of power that this guy has. He's used OP as hell. But with Colossus taking on the new power of Juggernaut, it is interesting, because in the mind of Kitty Claw, who's basically there, she essentially says, like, this will kill Colossus, it will kill who he was, and transform him into somebody else. And that's kind of what happens here is that when Colossus arrives onto the scene and starts facing off against unstoppable Juggernaut, one of the things he comments on is that, like, he doesn't really want to stop. Like, he has a desire to just destroy things. As the avatar of Cyrax, you seek to destroy, you seek to conquer and to eliminate things. And so what this means for Colossus is that he's following that exact charter. And so showing up here and facing off against Juggernaut, one of the things he says is that in this instance, in this conflict here, that it's not really like Colossus is winning easily. That for where Colossus is basically unstoppable, that with the power King Marco still has, he's still faster, he's still stronger, he's still more durable. Like he's still far more capable than Colossus is. The difference here is that Colossus is unstoppable. That's the difference. That's the one thing. Colossus literally just starts tearing him limb from limb, because at this point it just becomes a war of attrition. That Colossus is just like this constant force facing off against Juggernaut, and eventually Juggernaut will wear out. Eventually he'll get tired and he won't be able to fight anymore. And that's exactly what takes place. What ends up going on here is the Serpent realizes what's happening at this moment, the fact that Juggernaut's basically losing, and in response whisks him away, basically snatches him up and sends him directly back over and brings him directly back to where the Serpent's at, leaving Colossus in his current form. Now, what this does is this goes forward and even directly into like Avengers vs. X-Men with unstoppable Colossus.
X-Men?
It was an attempt to change his character up, to kind of boost his popularity temporarily, and it worked. Dude, it was the talk of the town. Like every single form everywhere was like all the time about like unstoppable Colossus. Can unstoppable Colossus beat this guy? Can he beat that guy? Can he do this? Can he do that? It just turned into like battle force all the time, like battle force all the way you went. And so it's kind of interesting because in this moment, what ends up happening is that following the departure of Juggernaut, this really leads to the X-Men just kind of going back to business as usual. But one of the things that happens here is Cyclops pays a visit directly to Sadie, and essentially says, look, if things are how they are, then what Sadie had intended to do is that if Juggernaut got close enough to Utopia, that what she wanted to do is kind of take out the entire mutant population and Juggernaut in one fell swoop. Now, it wasn't really from a place of being vindictive, it was a practical approach, but Cyclops learned this was the case. Cyclops learned that ultimately she was going to destroy Utopia. And so what he ends up doing is basically having Hope Summers sit outside and in turn, like, take away the ability for Sadie to control her own body and says, look, this is how things are. We keep to ourselves. We keep our own. Yes, we're going to get home, but if you believe you're going to be able to walk over the X-Men, that's not going to happen. Because we have X-Men back there that can turn your blood to mercury. We have X-Men that can make you bodily function. We will have them screw your mind, turn you inside out, and make you live the most horrid life you could ever imagine. All the while, you don't realize you're just sitting in your living room. So either you can play ball and you can let us be, or we will make you suffer the most horrific experiences you could ever imagine in your entire life. And this is again continuing the trend of Cyclops falling down the path and becoming somewhat of a darker god, becoming more extreme and becoming something more akin to a villain. Okay.
You should have let it charge. Stop doing. Stop doing.
Yeah, this shit's stupid, bro. She's mentally needs help.
Who?
Alicia.
Like what?
She says she needs help. I suggest help.
Right.
Now you just ignore me.
Yeah. I wouldn't feed into that.
Doesn't make sense. You say you need help. I say I could take her off your hands, but you're so miserable. You'd rather just be financially
fucked up.
I got no kids. I got 4 bedrooms. But her issue is right now Ivy's babysitting right now. So she's home alone. Babysitting.
Yeah.
No, that's not what but yeah.
That's not what she's supposed to be doing right now.
But yeah, I'll put her in summer camp. So you ain't gotta worry about she'll have something to do for summer besides babysit her brothers. Because she's a kid. She's supposed to be enjoying the summer.
Yeah.
Not babysitting so you can do what you're doing.
Like work or something?
If she at work, you still shouldn't be leaving this girl alone this long.
Where's her mom?
Exactly.
Her mom don't help her no more?
I guess not, because she moved out of my house.
Yeah, probably burnt the bridge.
And you more likely did, and it's stupid because you were living with her rent, probably rent, cheap.
Where's she living in now?
She got an apartment.
Oh, you were saying it yesterday.
Yeah, she got an apartment, and now she can't financially, and she needs help. But I'm not the support. I got a house. I'm not supporting your apartment.
Hell no.
No, not. But it's like, yo, you got 4 kids, bro. I didn't tell you to do that.
Nope.
Even if you had to, even if it's just 2, I can like.
No, you can't.
Like,
that ain't your responsibility.
It's like, cause one, your younger mind, it's like the youngest, oldest sibling to, yeah. It's
I mean,
but not 4 kids. I don't got none. I got 1.
Yeah. Thank God you got 1.
And it's like I barely got to enjoy that though.
Because it's stolen from you.
Exactly, and now you trying to fault me for not wanting to support you financially?
Yeah, because you were so bent out of shit, and you were so bent on the baby being somebody else's.
But then, yeah, you burned so many bridges.
That too. And nobody can.
Like, how you married and the baby you got is not even his?
Yeah, it's because you're a nasty nigga, bro. Yo, matter of fact, me and Alicia was close because we was cool and shit. But she broke that down to me. I cursed her ass out. And bro, what the fuck are you doing?
Shit is. And like, I'm trying not to curse her out because she at least, I gotta give her respect to my being the mother of my daughter.
Yeah.
She coming like I'm
you owed a favor.
Yeah, like I'm owed. No, like respectfully, you could have been done something about this. Rachel, she got her tubes tied. Like, if you was just that adamant in getting it, but now you're trapping people.
Mm-hmm.
To financially stable you. Nah, that's not how it's gonna go.
Mm-mm.
And if my mama was still around, woo,
she'd be cursing her out too.
She'd be cursing out, be like, yo, I told your dumb ass not to be having babies with these hoes. Take it to court. I'm not trying to take it to court, but I swear it's gonna have to happen.
Yep. For custody, right?
Yeah, full custody.
Damn. Cool. Well, she might just fuck around and do.
My sister,
that might be the best bet.
My sister, like, if you want, you can call Dyfus now.
No,
I'm like, nah,
no.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Because instead of just one, they'll fuck around and try to take all.
Right, I'm not trying to, yeah.
Ruin your life.
Yeah, I'm not trying to fuck no one's life up. But she said, dude, save the evidence, because Ivy did text me saying that she can't get picked up to 2:30 because she's babysitting her brother. She's watching the kids.
Well, you gonna go pick her up today?
Yeah, I was gonna pick her up today, but then all of a sudden, no response. No response.
They almost damn near half over.
What's up?
I said 2:30. The
yeah,
day
exactly.
almost half
but
over.
I called her twice already, no response. So I'm like,
on Sunday, I'm saying.
Did Alicia get to her? Because she was very excited about coming over. Now, no response.
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
Shit is ridiculous. And now you about to ruin her childhood because she got the babysitting in the house.
Oh Jesus, that's a sad one right there. But
That and she talking about you don't do shit for her. I'm like, bro, I was trying to throw her a party. You took that away from me. Even on her birthday, I had to buy her a fucking cookie cake because you waited till last minute, and I had to find everywhere to look for a cookie cake.
Yeah.
And what she get? A fucking cookie cake.
Yeah. Actually, you shall receive. At least you ain't one of those parents that's like, well, I'll try to get a cookie cake.
Right. And it's like anytime she asks for anything, bro, like I've done it. And you talking about I wish. Like she's Ivy needs shoes, I got her shoes. Like anything like that influence to money, Ivy's got it.
Yeah.
I'm not sending you no money for no bills. Respectfully. I got my own bills to worry about. We're not married. We never was once.
The husband got her ass out of there, right?
Huh?
She's still married?
No, they divorced. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they divorced. He got his own thing going on.
As he should. You made a fool of.
She should have set herself up. She knew what she was going to go through. She should have set herself up. Granted, we all don't have the best lifestyle, but
yeah.
You had all them cousins. You was showing me around where they at now.
Down the bridge. I'm sure.
Yeah. And the crazy thing is, bro, like, I never ignore Ivy. She has my phone number. She can call me whenever she wants. But there's some days like motherfucker just be busy. Like that's why I told them I didn't want to work every day. But now they got me fucking. I was trying to work the morning so I can get off early, so I can actually do shit with her. But they gave me the afternoon shift, so the shit just don't work out. And plus, I work Monday through Friday. I don't get a day off in between.
True.
So for me to try to do something with her, no, I can't do it. It's not realistic.
Yeah.
And it's like all year round. Like some jobs you can get, I can't say some jobs you can get at least a 2-day weekend, or 4-day weekend. But that's another thing. I gotta pull in more money. Like sheesh.
Yeah.
I sent her 2 racks. That's why I was gonna try to do something, but
yeah.
That's the entire perspective that was being put off by Marvel. The issue with this is that while Thor is not the highest selling character that Marvel ever had, he's certainly one of the most recognizable.
You can't fuck over people and expect your life to be all glamorous.
That's what I'm saying. She gonna end up resenting her, not me. Like.
And so in this instance, of course, now like as awesome as it was, we have to imposter.
I'm not trying to like. I know for a fact she probably in her ear, but I'm not that type of parent to be like, your mom is doing this to you.
Yeah.
I'd rather her just see it for herself.
Yep. You call it out on your own.
Right.
And you get old enough and realize what you're doing and stuff like that.
But at the same time, Thor is essentially like burning. It's basically like he's receiving it as burning.
I was trying to write some shit down with these tickets, but I just feel like it's pointless.
This is something that's kind of interesting. So following this, from 2010 going to 2011 and 2012, itself, Marvel launched Marvel Now. And what Marvel Now was designed to do was kind of reshuffle things. Now, this kicks off something called Shattered Heroes.
Not pointless, but like I'll figure out. I'm trying to figure out the word. It's repetitive in the sense. It's not pointless at all.
But in this whole thing, what this did is it set the stage for Matt Fraction to finish his run, which brings in Thanos. I'm pretty sure his name pronounced Thanos, which is basically Uber Patrol pretending to be Thor, pretending to be like a Thor reborn character, and then Loki essentially rescuing the real Thor by kind of splitting Donald Blake and Thor in half again. So it was sort of like a ham-fisted thing is really what it was. It was kind of like this idea, well, Thor and Donald Blake are still one person. All right, get rid of it. Like, get rid of that thing, his old hat. Marvel's been doing it. Like,
I understand that though.
So,
I said I understand that though. Just keep doing your best.
It's like, bro, you ask for help.
You extend your arms.
But yet you'd rather just be miserable and still need help.
Because it's gonna be looking like she's not shit as a mother if you take the baby off her arm.
And I ain't trying to do that to Ivy. Like, at least I can save her.
Yeah, so she's yours. You can't save nobody else. It has nothing to do with you.
Because she already getting big. And I'm like, bro, gosh, you getting big, girl. We gotta stay in shape. We get big bone. We gotta keep you active. We can't get you lazy, because then you get lazy, you get big. And we see how it is over here. We're not trying to get you looking like respectfully looking like a potato, man.
Yeah, you'll be alright, bro.
That's how they built now. I'm like, girl, you really just let yourself go. And she 30. She 30. She younger than us, bro.
Yeah. Same year. Alright, same year. But I don't even know where this idea is even the thing. What gave you the idea to have all these damn kids? I think that somebody was just gonna stop me live just to be like, oh, well, I'll be with you forever, Alicia.
And then, like, for what?
And then you make a fool of the one who did.
Like, come on, bro.
The one who did.
I was disappointed in that part. Like,
that's what I said. I was like, and then when she told me how this whole thing, because she told me the whole thing, I was like, what, bro? This is ridiculous.
I'm not gonna say I would have worked shit out. Like, like, we would have been the best of partners. But,
yeah,
bro, if she would have just said it was mine, it would have been a different story. This shit is just
Ramatut and Immortus and Iron Lad and all that stuff. So, we have to explain that before we get into this. Now, we have
I was listening to that whole situation. I was like, you should be kicking your ass. But I didn't go too far. She's on me, she's on me, she's on me. I don't give a fuck. You fix that part first. Get a divorce.
And because of your technological advancement, you're literally taking technology as it exists right now back then. Let me tell you something. You show up there with an ink pen, you're going to blow the minds of the people in ancient Egypt. Right? They're going to think you're God. Right? Like, they're not going to know how to process that information. Let alone if you took that to something like a computer, which took years, or a notepad, or something along those lines. Right? It's technology that they haven't even considered. So the Ramatut, you change your name to Ramatut, you rule that for a particular...
Look, mama over there.
Present day, doesn't matter who it is, realizes what you're doing, they go back in time, and they basically chase you
What'd you say to me? Hmm? What'd you say to me, woman? Hmm? Hi, baby.
So your intention is to say, okay, I had the ability to time travel, go anywhere I want to. I mean, I'm not just going to quit after being beat once, right? It's like the dating game, right? Try again. And so you're like,
Small
okay,
woman.
go back to 2022, and I'm going to concoct a new plan on how to conquer that. But along the way back, along your journey back
Like,
here, suddenly you end up in limbo, and you're just like, okay,
I feel
this
pretty good.
sucks, right? And you're
That part, this part of the life that I see my daughter having, that part was stolen from you.
it allows you to look at the entire landscape, past, present, future, and
What did you find out?
so you can literally watch your life unfold from the point of limbo.
What's
And
up?
what you do is you come to this realization.
You hear me?
What's up?
When did you find out?
Find out what?
I.
When she was 6.
Shoot.
She's 13 now.
Yeah. Like I said, it's like stealing it from you. It's stealing the early years to even get to know your baby.
I don't want to become that villain version of me. So I'm going to stay here, and I'm going to do everything I can to work against me. Here's the problem. What you have here is a situation where you will inevitably have to end up going back and becoming that villainous version of yourself because you exist, right?
Now, like, speaking of right now, I just washed her bottle off, put milk in it, and put it in the microwave to get warm. She seen me put the milk back and is trying to throw a tantrum. Get out of here. Go. What you want to do? Oh, you want to fight? Oh, Lord. You put your hands up to your dad. Where's my son? Do. Thank you.
I may lose the ability to time travel, I may never gain the ability to time travel, maybe I decide to go to Burger King instead of McDonald's, and that shifts up everything, right? So now I don't have the ability to time travel. Any number of things could happen that could prevent that. So what I need to do is I need to go into the past, and I need to meet with my younger self, and I need to make sure that my younger self does all the things
Oh, thank you.
so that I can exist. And so you do that. You go back and you meet with your younger self. And you basically tell your younger self, look, I'm the guy you're going to become. And so here's what you got to do. Right? You got to do this. You got to do all these different things over the course of time. And if you don't, you're never going to become me. Well, your younger self looks at you and says, well, I don't want to be
Damn.
you. I have no desire to become you. Right? You're a dick. But I don't want to be you.
What time is this basketball game starting?
Not to become you. And so as a result, you've made an enemy out of your younger self. Now, for our explanation here with King to Conquer, when you went
I woke up early. I was looking at shit.
that's King to Conquer becoming
I was mostly concerned with the WNBA.
instead of calling yourself Immortus, that was King to Conquer. And
You hear me?
in the future, when you go into
What's up?
and meet with your younger self,
So I was mostly concerned with the WNBA.
The WNBA?
that's how all those things
Yeah, but I know it's not bad.
to explain it besides that. If that can't explain King to Conquer for you, nothing can. Either that, or I'm just that
Yeah, we down from certain people. You know, I got no way down here.
Let's get into the comment. The reason why you guys are here, if I haven't lost half of them already. So here's the thing. What this does is it initially picks up with Nathaniel Richards.
How many quarters? I mean, what's the time limit on? What's the quarters they have? Is it 10 minutes? WNBA?
10 minutes.
5 minutes?
10 minutes.
Oh, alright. No, I'm saying it's 5 minutes in this one game. It's only 11 to 8. What the fuck are y'all doing out there? Fuck. I was about to do a hater tour on that shit, but I'm gonna go under on every fucking body.
Where there's no struggling or no suffering or no pain, nobody will have a reason to improve themselves because everybody will have everything that they want. And in the face of that, what you would likely run into is a situation of stagnation. Now, whether that would happen in the real world or not, because what happened to Silver Surfer's planet is what happened to the people of Zenma. They stopped focusing on religion, started focusing on science. They
One person I hate, well, this house got 4 of those motherfuckers already. I didn't go through it the way I was supposed to today.
And so what you end up getting is basically Nathaniel, who goes on this kind of personal quest, where he literally just starts traveling to these old places that had long since been forgotten, and in a lot of ways were kind of off limits to the average person. But what he longed for was adventure. What he longed for was this kind of bygone age, an era that he was nostalgic for, despite the fact that he never lived in it. He was kind of
it's gonna be alright though, bro.
when they were straight up heroes, straight up villains.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even question it. It's gonna be alright.
And so what he ends up doing and going to this museum, he actually ends up stumbling across a Doombot. And that's kind of the crazy thing, is because remember, Dr. Doom by this point
Oh, fucking Pirates blew out the Brewers, so
They lost?
yeah, they fucked my tickets up.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. I might be alive again. I got a ticket for $2,000. Yankees to win by 2. They up 1.
Oh, that's still a chance.
Alright, but I gotta make a FanDuel one though. With these fucking coochie shit, bro. Bro, I still won't fucking touch Ryan Howard ever again, bro.
My boy.
And what's name needed? They blew him out. Asia Wilson, she was the only one I needed on the ticket. She had 21 points.
Oh, you missed it by 1.
Missed by 1, another one. But Asia Wilson, I understand. They blew them out by 40. So she had 21. Yeah. I can accept her getting 21. But Ryan Howard, 19, and you can't get 20. Bitch. Alright, so we got Rockies versus the Giants, Dodgers, and Diamondbacks, and the Blue Jays versus Padres. That's baseball.
Those are the games that's left?
Yeah, that's game for left for baseball. That starts at 4. WNBA last game starts at 7, and that's Paige Buchers versus the Sky. Alright, so let me see with the Rockies, because I think the Rockies actually been good this year. It was ass last year.
And so the response of King is good. That means you're ready. So now ask your question again, but ask it with
Rockies.
Who are you? And this guy, King responds and says, I've been called 1,000.
The San Francisco is projected to win though by 63%. Well, San Francisco beat them 8-2. Rockies won 4-3. San Francisco won 4-2. I'm gonna do San Francisco plus.
That's right.
Or under 9. Under 9.
They brushed me a little bit and then I lost it last night. I still got some change left. I'm trying to be.
The pitcher had 5.5115. They're saying 3. Michael Lorenzen.
Hold on.
I'm gonna give him over 3. How do you go get 1 strike? 1 strikeout.
You need to be fired.
He got 1 strikeout 2 games, but they got him for over under 3. LA Dodgers, he had 5. Pirates, he had 5. And the Chicago Cubs, he had 5. I'm gonna say over 3. The other pitcher had 4.1350 under 4.
I like that. And you're looking at the average 5 too, right? The last average of their strikeouts. I said you're looking at the average of their strikeouts too, right? And look at like when you click on the pictures, it says ERA. That's how many runs they give up.
So 5 runs. What is strikeout? SO. It says 50.
No, that's how much they have throughout the whole year.
But it says 4.5. He averaged then.
Yeah.
So under 4.5.
So you want to go with that?
And ERA, he lets runs go. So their best hitter.
How many runs he average?
The best hitter is Mikey Manaka. He held 1-2. So I'm giving him a hit. And the other pitcher is his ERA is 6.4. Damn. It's gonna never mind. I said under. It might be an over game, right?
No, I think he might go under on the strikeouts because if you give up.
No. The runs.
A's is at 3.
It was at 9. One pitcher.
ERA is at 9?
No, I'm sorry. The total is at 9, but the one pitcher ERA is. 1 second. Go back to it. Is
Michael Lorenzen?
Yeah, Michael Lorenzen. He's 6.4.
Yeah, look how much he gives up, almost 6.5, 7 runs a game. But that don't happen every game.
So this guy had 2 hits. I'm giving him 2 bases. Luis Arraez.
Yeah. So he had 5, 5, 1, 1, and 5. What's the number on that? Total is 9. So he gives up. He's giving up 6, and the other one's giving up 5. And he had no strikeouts. He just out there giving it up.
I'm looking at the next game. Kevin Guzman. He had 7, 3, 4, 7, 8.
This shit hard to call. ERA 6.4. What you do the first 2 pitchers?
Huh?
What you do the first 2 pitchers?
The first 2 pitchers, it was under both on the Michael Lorenzen over 3 strikeouts and Trevor under.
You give him over 3?
Yeah, over 3, under 4.
Under
4.
Let's see. Hit. Luis Arraez, you gave Arraez. You gave him 1 hit.
I gave Luis Arraez 2 total bases. I gave Michael Manaka 1 hit.
Mickey Moon Knight?
Yeah, Moon Knight, yeah. Moon Knight. Yeah. And Rafael Devers for a run.
Nice. I got both of them for a hit. Casey Schmidt for a hit. And Rafael Devers.
That was it. I only have 5 for that game.
Yeah, I got 5 here.
Yeah. And I went to the next game and gave Kevin Guzman 5 strikeouts.
Kevin Guzman 5 strikeouts. I'm gonna go under. Under 5.
Alright.
And I went under on both.
Okay.
For the first two.
Ooh.
First two pitchers I went under.
Kevin
I gave
Okamoto had 2 homers. I mean, 1 homer against San Diego a game ago.
Who,
But
Kevin
he had,
Guzman?
huh?
Oh, no. Go ahead, my bad.
Kuzma Okamoto, he had 3 homers in the last 5 games.
Yeah.
I want to give him 3 total bases.
Okay. I see that. Because he took a game off.
Huh?
He's got 4 total bases. And
Yeah, I
then
don't know if you can go
back-to-back
4.
games.
You can't go 4.
No, you can.
Go 4.
Oh, no, you can. You
Yeah.
can.
Every time I go 4, it never lets me.
Yeah, you'd have to make that by itself.
Or you give him 2 RBIs.
Yeah. Vladimir Guerrero. Give him 1 hit.
Or, hold on. You can give him 3 total bases and a run.
3 total bases.
You don't gotta put the run on. Never mind.
You already got him down for 3 total bases?
Yeah, you don't gotta put him down for a run.
So, put the 3 total bases, not the run.
Yeah, not the run.
Alright.
They're saying Manny Machado
Machado.
for a homer.
He's had 1 in the last 5 games.
I'm giving him a hit.
Yeah. I'm giving Ernie Clement a hit.
I want to do 5 and 5.
Yeah.
2 total bases for Ty France.
Ty France. Total bases. So you already got that down. I'm gonna pick something else.
Give him a hit. They're saying Otani for a homer today.
Yeah.
He's been getting back in his groove.
Yeah.
He had 3 homers the last 5 games. I'm giving him Otani for an RBI. Hold on, RBI's tough. He got to go around. He'll have to get around too. Someone have to be on the base already.
Yeah. And he's number 1.
Yeah, he's number 1, so that's tough. Yeah.
It's hard for him to get RBIs.
Only other option is a hit or 3 total bases. I'm going for 3 total bases then.
I'm gonna go for a hit.
Freddie Freeman.
1 hit for me.
Yeah, hit.
Pages. Andy Pages.
RBI. I'm giving him RBI.
Alright, I'm gonna give him 1 hit. Mookie Betts, I'm not gonna touch that.
Giving him 1 hit. Come on, Mookie.
Gabriel Mariano, I'm gonna give him 1 hit.
I'm giving him the win too.
1 hit?
I'm giving them the win.
The win.
Dodgers.
Dodgers? Yeah.
But that's the point. You're the one who's failed. You talk endlessly about conquest and glory, but you're just a drunk who makes me memorize.
Tim Tawa had 2 homers. No, I'm sorry. He had 5 and 6 total runs. Tim Tawa.
Yeah, I'm just as crazy because I was just clicking on him.
He had 2 RBIs. Sheesh.
I'm getting 1 hit. I got 18 so far.
I got 15.
Something has to go.
To save the first and last in this last and in the end, the response of King is you believe that because you're in love. And it's that love that makes you weak.
Still ain't taking no pictures for this one. I make Sheehan.
His sentimentality, the fact that he's experienced love and kindness and romance, he sees that as a weakness.
The dude had 3 hits. Damn.
And he could alter that version of himself so that he didn't experience love. That sentimentality was stamped out of him. Then those weaknesses would never come to fruition. In those moments when he hesitated,
I got 22.
due to some sentimentality or some statement made by Reed or Susan or something like that, right? Like, who's going to take care of my children? That if that sentimentality wasn't there,
I'm gonna look at each one of these games with hits and take whatever off.
Alright, I'm going to the females now. Paige never steers me wrong. She had 20. I'm giving her 20 points.
Okay.
Right, they're completely and and Nathaniel can do nothing more than just sit there and watch. Now, this is hugely important.
Camila Cordosa, giving her 15.
Across the fabric of space and time, I had never left my cage at all. It was then that I saw the cage was king. And so what he did is he basically made this promise to himself that he wouldn't become king. He says, and so for the final months of the Cretaceous, I pretended to study that which King instructed, while secretly I studied the law. How the mention of Ravana might drive my jailer to drink. How a few words...
God, that girl had 17 rebounds. Points and rebounds for her. Justin Shepard.
Oh, fuck, man. Back at work. I'm dreading that shit.
I'm only picking 3. Oh, I don't even got enough. Oh, Aces to play. What's her name today? Caitlin Clark is back.
Oh, shit.
2 threes for Caitlin.
Off an injury?
Is this takes place during the era of...
You know what?
Wait, hold on. 7-8. She played already. She had 1 3. Her first game back.
Oh yeah.
She had 1 3. That's why I was a little nervous when you said that. I was like, oh god. Off injury? Oh my god.
I don't know what she was out for. I feel like she was out for a little while because somebody landed her.
Somebody tried to fuck her up. Yeah, so she was like, let me pull down the media real quick. But they're playing the Aces, and I think what's name's gonna go for 40 tonight.
Wilson?
What? Wilson, yeah, I think she's gonna go 40 tonight. She got 21. She definitely gonna redeem herself today. She getting 30.
Robert?
She getting 30. I should have just went over points and rebounds yesterday instead of giving her 25 points. Sophia Cunningham, ass. She had 3 threes on them last time.
Oh, 3 threes.
Sophia Cunningham, she had 3 threes on the Vegas last time they played.
Lightning, stop. I think it's gonna be a high-scoring game too. Over.
Aces are 17-6. They win it again. They beat them. That's why she got 21 points. They beat them by 50 points.
Damn.
They had 106 to 58.
What would you need? Like 22?
She had 21 points, but she going off tonight because she had
plenty of rest.
She had plenty of rest.
Oh, alright.
So I'm going with 25 again for her, Asia Wilson again. Wilson has been going over every game, so I'm going to give her Kelsey Mitchell.
Yeah.
She had 29 when Caitlin Clark came back, so I'm giving her 20. I'm giving her 30 points, rebounds, and assists. Aaliyah Boston, she had 18 points, 10 rebounds. Giving her points and rebounds. 25. And Jackie Young had 15 points, 4 assists. She went under. Give her under 4 rebounds. And Chelsea Gray. Putting too many people.
You said too many people?
I'm putting too many people, I know it.
Same. That's why I'm subtracting some shit from these baseball Jones.
Oh, but $1.38 give me $1 million, so I'm gonna lock that in. Why can't Why can't I share it?
Better get one of those games we're about to start.
406. So we got the baseball for the girls. I did Paige Buchers for 20, Camila Cordoso for 15, Jessica Shepard for over points and rebounds.
I'm listening.
Asia Wilson, I gave her 35 points and rebounds, over 35 points and rebounds. Kelsey Mitchell, I gave her 30 points, rebounds, and assists. Aaliyah Boston, I gave her 25 points and rebounds. And Jackie Young, I gave her under 4 rebounds. I'll reuse it, see if I can take some things off.
Emmett Sheehan. 28445. Something's telling me he's going over. The pitcher for the Dodgers.
Yeah, so I'm about to take the pictures off real quick, just in case. What about Kevin Guzman? What do you think he going for?
I'm looking at that. I'm at giving up. ERA is 5. Then.
Excuse me.
Emmett Sheehan. Like a 30 left. Let's get this shit. Mitch Black. He's only played 1 game. I don't know what to say about that. I'm gonna leave that alone. Mitch Black. He's on the Diamondbacks and the Dodgers team. He's averaging last 5. He's averaged 3, but he's only played 1 game. I don't know if that's gonna be an over or under type of thing. They might run him off. He might get 1 or 2 and they go like, alright, son. He gave up 12. He's giving up 3. ERA is at 3. 3 strikeouts so far.
Man said his head gasket is gone.
Who?
Connor.
He's saying basically he's going crazy because he did all that preparation for the fight and look at what happened.
I lost so much. I lost so many others. The fans have lost.
Trevor McDonald. I think they're going under. Michael Lorenzen.
I'm gonna go back to work.
can just be killed. It just takes differing levels of power to do it. The living tribunal was killed by the Yonders, the other cosmic entities as well, and the different cosmic entities have been destroyed by different beings, depending on what era of comics you're talking about. You're looking at Al Ewing's Ultimates, that Eternity was basically defeated and not really killed, but overpowered by like the first Chronos, right? The sentience of the first universe. So it gets a little meta and it gets a little wonky, but as the two of them continue talking, what ends up going on is that this person reveals their identity to Nathaniel Richards, and we end up finding out this Moon Knight is actually Ravonna Renslayer. Now, here's the thing to understand here, and this is why I say from this point going forward, the entire history of Ravonna Renslayer is going to be completely rewritten, or at least her origin is going to be completely rewritten. The original origin of Ravonna Renslayer is she's from the 40th century, and that you ended up having a time where Cain the Conqueror had arrived there, but ultimately slew her because he was in love with her. And then it was a kind of love-hate relationship where they loved each other and they hated each other. She killed him a couple times. It was just one of those things. There was literally a point where she resurrected him just to kill him. It's kind of nuts, right? It was that level of hate and disdain. There was very much a love-hate, if anything, a passionate relationship between the two. What it looks like Colin Kelly's doing is reworking the entirety of that by introducing Ravonna Renslayer here and saying she is a Moon Knight and then presenting her to us in this way. What it looks like is this is where Ravonna Renslayer starts. This is where her origin begins. Instead of it being in the 40th century, she was just a person in Egypt and ended up becoming a host for Khonshu as the first Moon Knight, or one of the Moon Knights, presumably the second Moon Knight after Avengers 1 million, and she just kind of goes forward from there. But again, things will be explained as time effectively goes on, because we'll actually see different versions of her in different points in time across the story. So it'll be a little murky to a degree, not gonna lie, a little ambiguous there, but at the end of the day, she presents herself as a person that wholeheartedly believes in the idea of Khonshu. And what ends up happening is Nathaniel kind of says, I do not believe in gods. In my life of conquest, I have crushed countless divine skulls in my hands, but even before I saw fear in the eyes of the god of thunder, and yet he recalls those thoughts by Cain, never wrong. And he says, in that place, my mind ran clear. The past, the future, like a river of blood from my mind to Cain's neurokinetic thunder. Time and memory coursed through my veins. I swore that I would be the hero she saw in me. I swore to tear him down. And she says, in the shadow of a dead god, I took my revenge and cast it in iron. And so what this says, and this isn't necessarily something that's absolutely solidified in the modern era, what this says is that this younger version of Kang basically becomes the first Iron Man. Now, I say that as if there's more than one Iron Man. I mean, I guess technically there kind of is, but not necessarily. The reality here is that in the end, it is all Kang, right? So this kind of origin still rings true, right? The origin of Kang. But one of the things to know is that in the old school, or not really old school, but in the Young Avengers story, that the idea of Iron Man was basically a younger version of Kang that didn't want to become Kang and did everything he could not to become Kang. But in the end, every origin of everybody stems from Kang in the 30th and 31st centuries. And so because of that, they are all destined to become Kang. Eventually, Immortus goes on to become Kang. Iron Man goes on to become Kang. Everybody originates from Kang because he was a guy that basically went back in time and initially started it all. And that's why, if you look at characters like King the Conqueror, or even like Reverse Flash, Eobard Thawne in DC Comics, the reason why they're basically indestructible, in the sense that you can never truly kill them, is because they effectively exist simultaneously at different points in time. And so because they exist at different points in time, they can always reappear at any point in time. So imagine you, for example, travel back to, I don't know, like the first century, like just an arbitrary point in time. You exist in the first century, but because we have branch universe theory, there's also a reality or a timeline where you never traveled back in time. And so if somebody were to go to that point where you, quote-unquote, went back in time, and they stopped you the moment before you did, and they killed you, then what that would mean is you would still exist in the first century. You would still be there. Instead, there's a branch universe that exists out there now where you died before you could go back in time. So you could never truly kill that person. It's one of those things where in Marvel and even DC Comics, once a person learns the ability to travel through the time stream, the instant they make their first attempt or their first travel through time, they can never truly be destroyed now. They can always just reappear at any point in time. So it's really kind of murky. It's very, very ambiguous, and I know when it comes to time travel, it can be a little confusing, but it's essentially a way to unlock immortality using technological means. But the result of this is that as Iron Man, really the first time he becomes this character, he basically ends up helping the forces of Moon Knight and what seems to be this rebel faction facing off against Rama Tut and trying to bring down his rule. Now, the reality of this, and what's really, really cool, is that in these various rallies they're a part of, there is a larger force pulling the strings when it comes to these forces that are trying to destroy, bring down King the Conqueror. And so then, although I imagine some of you guys have already guessed who that person is, one of the greatest characters of all time. Absolutely love it. But one of the things to do is these battles.
I sent you this screenshot.
I seen it. I'm not doing that.
That's like, I took hitters off and I added the money line zone. Let me see if I can counter it. Switching off some strikeouts. See, like the Michael Lorenzen, the over 3.5 looks good. The under on the other guy looks good. Trevor McDonald. You had 4, 1, 3. You had 5, and then you had 0. I feel like you're going under. Kevin Gleason, and I went under on that one. On the first ticket I said. I don't see him doing it 3 games in a row. But on this ticket, I'll put him for 3 games in a row. Herman Marquez. I see it going under, but it's 2.5 is fucking ridiculous. I feel like the hits that I have on there are good.
And he saw that idea of love as the thing that made him weak.